Hey guys, Jamie Santilli here. I run the Pro Scooter Series on behalf of Scooter Hut. Taking some time out today to just answer a few of the most commonly asked questions and a few other ones in regards to the Pro Series and how it all works. So as I mentioned, my role is Head Event Coordinator. In that role, I make sure that everything runs smoothly and that pretty much all the riders show up is a good start, and make sure the venues are kept in check and that they're the right ones for the event. Work out everything from the logistics of transporting riders and helping them out with that. Work in conjunction with the brands in relation to the marketing of the event. Coordinate the live stream team. Pretty much anything that makes up Pro Series is a part of my role. So yeah, that kind of puts it in a nutshell. Be about 5.5 years ago now, almost. I started, I was working in retail and decided to jump across and try out this company called Scooter Hut, and came in as a store manager. Did that for a number of years and then moved away, tried a couple other things, decided to come back in with a new skill set, and that's kind of my life in scooters so far, and it finds me here today running the Pro Series. So the Pro Scooter Series is in its 4th year. It is, I guess, officially the biggest event in the sport in terms of prize money. This year we've jumped up to a $23,000 prize packet, which is pretty huge. First place takes home $15K, which is massive. I mean, in any action sport really. Way it works is 3 stops. In the past we've had it in various locations around Australia. This was our first year where we've kind of stepped outside that box and did the first 2 stops over in California. First one being in Escondido near San Diego, and second stop in Bakersfield in north of California. Both highly successful, highly well received, super stoked on how they went. Riders get points for every stop. That then comes together and creates the final standings ladder, and that's then how we crown the champion. On the count of any tied scores at the end of the series, we then go on a count back, check out the cumulative scores that they accumulated during the series, and then that's how we work out any tiebreakers to then crown that champion at the end of it. It's been a work in progress since the start, but a very exciting one. And every year we try and take on as much feedback as we can and really improve the event and try and take it to that next step as each year goes by. In terms of progression for the event, I definitely see a lot in its future. I think we're already starting to think of things for next year. We're toying with the idea of finally hitting the United Kingdom, possibly mainland Europe. There's just so much potential there. Maybe individual series events across each of the continents, or bringing it back home to Australia for next year again and having all 3 stops in one location again. It's just like sky's the limit really. Prize money will probably go up again if all goes well and sponsors start coming on board. I mean, that's a key thing for this event, is that we want the marketing side to grow, and we want those external brands outside of scooters to see what can happen and see what the sport can do for them, and bring their investment to it and then grow it even further. So yeah, definitely a lot in the future of this event. I think so. I think the invitational concept is really going to catch on, and it's going to be a big part of the sport. We have a pretty unique system. As anyone that has watched the live streams will know, it's pretty much instantaneous. We get the scores up as quick as possible. So every rider knows where they are at in terms of the competition runs that day. So if a rider gets an 85 and they know the leader's on a 90, that means that their next run they need to aim for that 91. So it kind of encourages them to push harder and harder as the day goes on. The way we do that is we generally have a minimum of 3 to 5 judges, and we divvy up the categories of judging between them. This year one judge looks after difficulty and style, one judge is on diversity, and then another judge is looking after part coverage and consistency in terms of fails and bails. So what that allows us to do is it creates a focus for each judge, rather than them having to work on all of the categories at once, which then slows down that judging process. Our judges are also, which is pretty unique that we've found out recently, allowed to talk and communicate, which then allows them to, in our opinion, get a fairer score, as they can then go over anything that they may have missed in their corresponding categories. it creates a pretty tight margin in terms of the competing field, but we like it that way. And I mean, at the end of the day, we see these riders competing as the top riders in the world, so it should be tight anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's always something that we're getting feedback on. Most riders, once they understand it and how it works and how the different sections operate, really enjoy it and really like it and become accustomed to it. And if anything, it creates them, encourages them, to be a better rider when it comes to other events. So yeah, that's pretty much how a unique judging system works. There's been a few times on tour where there's been definitely some funny moments. You know, I have spent a lot of time with the Aussie guys while we're in the US, and you had Jackson Bartlett, who was shocked that at night time it got colder, which was a funny one because I'm pretty sure that happens in any hemisphere, but according to him, that was a surprise to the system. So we'll give him that, I guess. And then you kind of had Dylan Morrison, who kind of got over my choice of country music and decided to drop some freestyle rap in the backseat of the car while we were on a 6-hour trip to Bakersfield. That was fun. But yeah, I mean, there's never a dull moment really being around those guys. They're pretty humorous. We like to think every year we pick a pretty good bunch of guys, and they all tend to gel and get along and have a whole heap of fun while they're at it. So it's always good times on the trip around the comps as well, for sure. Another unique aspect of the Pro Series is what we call our second chance reruns. So at any stage, at any one stop, a rider can ditch their lowest score and have a rerun. So they can, but it's only once at any stop. So for example, if a rider gets an 83, 89 and they need a 90 to get on that podium, they can drop their 83 and then they can go for a rerun and aim for that 90. But as we said, it is only a one chance type thing. So, you know, it kind of adds that excitement. As with last year, it ended up kind of helping out with the tiebreaker between Corey Funk and Capron Funk. And you know, I can imagine a similar thing will happen this year, as a lot of the field still has their reruns remaining for Pizzy. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept. Riders love it. It does add that little bit of excitement to it all, as it can be the difference between being on the podium or not at the end of the day. So yeah. Cheers for listening today. I hope I answered most of your questions. If I didn't though, you can always hit us up on the Facebook page or our Instagram, Pro Scooter Series. And yeah, fire away anything that I did miss. Always happy to answer questions. We really hope to see a lot of you guys, especially the locals up at the Gold Coast, at the Pizzy Final next weekend, 25th of September, kicking off at 12 o'clock. If you can't make it there, remember we do have our live stream across Facebook and on the ProScooterSeries.com website. Was a little laggy last time, not our fault, but that should be all sorted and all good for the outdoor final. So let's see how it all goes.